Well, hello. This better be good. Checking, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's the mic right there. Just out of the frame. Is it out of the frame on every shot? Let's check that real quickly. Is it right there? No, it's in the shot. Gotta move that out of the shot right there. I just don't go for that podcaster look. I don't know. Call me a fuddy-duddy. Go ahead. I dare you. All right, that's better. That's better. That'll work. That'll work. So this better be good. Oh, gee. Yeah, well, we'll see. It's, I work hard each week to set a new low. So, yeah. So welcome, sir. Steve, you're always in my good graces. You're and it's funny. The thumbs up really makes a huge difference in the algorithms, as does the thumbs down, by the way. I'll mention that. If you want to give me a thumbs down, it will shoot me down in the algs. Hello, Daniel. Glad to have you. Happy Hanukkah, John. Glad to have you. Yes, indeedy. Now, that's a question that I don't think I've ever been asked before. Are you looking over my shoulder? Hello, Dewey. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, that's right. A fuddy-duddy. Actually, I am a gallbladderless fuddy-duddy this week. Had it out last week. It was kind of an emergency surgery kind of deal. All my family was here for Thanksgiving. Left Saturday. And Saturday night, I went to the emergency room and spent the weekend in the hospital to have surgery last week. And yeah, so, but it really wasn't as bad as it could have been. But, they said, hey, go slow, go slow. So I did. So I missed you guys. Thumbs down shows engagement. Oh, I like that. I like that. Don't disagree, but you're engaging. Okay. So maybe it doesn't plummet my ratings. Hello, John. Welcome. St. John is in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, with a vMix PC or two, some PTZ optics cameras or 2 or 3. Ah, yes. Yes. Now that's a different story. That's a different story. That was probably very traumatic. Mine was, how you say, boring, other than the pain. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Good audio, good video. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Yeah, this is the Audio Technica AT897 that I've had for years. Bought it on. I've got 3 of them. I'm not sure where I got this one. One of them I bought new. One of them I bought on eBay, and one of them I bought from Luria Petruski. I'll have to look up her name. Anyway, we have a reference to her on today's show. Ought to be interesting. And I've enjoyed using those. I like the shotgun because I'm not hooked. I can go to the bathroom and I'm not taking the mic with me. Yeah. So just ignore Eric. Pay no attention to Eric. Yeah, we'll get started when we're darn well ready. And the cam, the studio cam is one that I really like too. It's the PTZ Optics Move 4K, the 12x model. So it's it's not a long lens, but it gives me the opportunity from this chair to make all the adjustments I need. And when you're a one-man show, it really is a big deal. So yeah. So we can't ignore Eric much longer. Oh golly. So yeah, this is what I forgot to do today. So I'll have to turn that off. And so if you call me and you don't get me, My apologies. It means I'm engaged in some nefarious deal. Excuse me, deal somewhere. All right, let's see. What else? What else did I miss? Okay. Well, darn. Well, darn. Okay. How are we doing on time? We are still have a few minutes left. That's good. Looking at the switcher in the background. Oh, yeah. 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 The one in the background is actually the replay switcher right here. But yeah, we've got the big ones too. I build a lot of PCs that get used for the instant replay, and we work with folks that do that. And so sometimes we'll supply that. Sometimes they want us just to go ahead and configure it. So I keep one on hand to configuring it in the background. What is OG up to? So I am using a Boya BM 6060 these days. It sounds as good as my old Sennheiser MKH16 for about 11 times less money. Yeah, you know, the improvements that have been made to audio are mostly on the financial side. You know, the technology has been kind of tweaked to 99.99999, and yeah, and now the question is to make it cheap. Oops, let's see. Let's do this. This is what he meant to say. Yeah. Hello, Jason. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Couldn't have started without you. Well, we could have, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. So, what's the weather like in New Zealand today? Wet, warm. I bet it's. Oh, I bet it's lovely. I bet it's lovely. I can't wait to visit. If that's possible, we'll see. We will see. We've got some places here in the States to visit first. So yeah, so we were kind of going through. So we've got the Audio Technica AT897. Got a bunch of those here. Got the PTZ Optics Move 4K 12X version here. We're also using the tried and true. I like tried and true. You know, I don't like it when technology is not my friend. And the X Keys XK80 is my friend. That rascal has never failed. Ever. Never, ever. And then, of course, the PC today is running vMix. Funny little story about the PC is, as I was getting ready for the show, I cannibalized it last week to test. Well, I didn't cannibalize it. I just took it apart to test some components from a system that somebody had returned, saying that there were some problems with these components. I say, okay, well let's isolate and let's put the component in a known working system and see how it does. And they did fine. In fact, I didn't think they were going to do fine. That was the fun. The fun. It was a CPU that they said was throttling. And another funny story to go with this funny story. Maybe we'll have time for that one. So I put everything back together this morning, and I had things you're not supposed to do. I had the CPU just laying around, and the cooler laying around, and some other stuff just laying around, some cables laying around, and put everything back together in a very normal way. And hey. Hot and sunny. Oh, yes. Daniel, we are not sympathetic at all. It is 53 degrees Fahrenheit here. The dogs love it. Oh, yeah. Last year we went to West Virginia for Christmas, and we arrived at 14 degrees Fahrenheit below zero. Never been in weather like that before. You take a breath and your lungs froze, just like in Joe's place. Yeah. So anyway, putting this PC back together, everything went back together flawlessly, perfectly, no problems. In fact, I was pleased with how nicely everything went back. And I had borrowed a couple of monitors from my studio to take home for Thanksgiving because one of my daughters-in-law needed to be able to work from home, but my home. So we set her up in a spare bedroom, and she needed 2 monitors. So I took her these 2, which are really nice AOCs, kind of curved, I guess at 32-inch, and it just kind of gives a nice impression. I liked it, and I wanted to give her something nice. So I bring them back and put them in, and one of the monitors doesn't come on. So anyway, long story short, after just doing all sorts of troubleshooting, I realized that they had reconfigured the monitor for a VGA cable. And so I had to configure it back, and then, and now I'm happy again. Yeah. All right. Waiting for parts to show up. That's my favorite part. It's like Christmas every day when the parts show up. The other thing was a system that somebody had sent back to me because it was overheating, and we needed to reconfigure some fans. And what I did was I added water cooling to it, just because I should have done that to begin with. It was on me. And I put everything together, getting ready to test it, kick it out the door. And did I miss Kyle? I did. Kyle, how did I miss you? I'm sorry. Welcome. Glad to have you. So, I missed a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's OG's wife. She died last year. Was it last year or this year? It wasn't that long ago, I guess. But yeah. No reason not to go water cooled. That's right. That's what I say. And I built it, and the doggone problem, the overheating problem, did not go away. And I'm thinking, we've water cooled this rascal. This CPU just must be just a hot button. And that's what I took it out of that machine, put it in this machine. It ran cool as a cucumber on an air cooler. And I went back and looked at that one after reading all sorts of troubleshooting tips online. And the first troubleshooting tip it said was, remember to remove the clear plastic from the water block. And I'm like, yeah, well, that wouldn't be me. Yeah, that was me. That was me. May of last year. Yeah, my condolences. I know that was rough, and then on top of it, it was rough. I can't imagine. Can't imagine. Let's get this show on the road. Let's see what we got here. You ready? Pressing the X keys purple button. Bingo. Look at this. It's amazing what you can do with a green screen these days. Yeah, so that's the title of today's show, whatever the title was. Sorry about that. Is a natural set, and this set is so natural. I think the only thing I did was turn a couple of lights on. But this set is so natural that I didn't do anything. I just said, oh, well, I did do something. I took the green screen and I folded it up and zip tied it up top so that I didn't have to worry about it being in the way, and said, let's just show everybody what's really behind me. This is what it looks like in the real world, not the make it look great because I've got all this special lighting effects and all this kind of stuff. If you're going to go to all the trouble of that, you may as well just do a green screen. Heaven forbid. So we'll try this for a while. We'll see. It's definitely simple. I might have to play with the lighting a little bit to, pop up some areas. I mean, I want to illustrate my parts cabinet right here, where I've got, like 27 different kinds of screws, and then a little bin of screws on top that's the ones that don't fit anything, and so they just go into a one bin. And then my monitor right behind me here, and then the monitor shelf with all the other cool stuff on it. You can see an XKeys XKE, is it XKE 64? Anyway, the replay controller right there was playing with that and trying to get, not trying to, but configuring a PC to work with that so that when they got their PC, everything was plug and play, they would be ready to go. And then you see over my shoulder here, that's the results of the parts cannon. Those are parts that we built PCs with, and then the parts failed in the burn-in process. And some of those have been waiting for a couple of months to go back to the manufacturer. But what do you do with a part like that? If I send them a part, they're going to send back to me one that somebody else sent to them that they repaired. So it's not new anymore, nor does it have a new warranty, and I'm not about to pop it in a machine. So I've been building machines for family using those kind of parts and that kind of stuff. So that's my set. Oh yeah, and then the picture right here that actually came from Amsterdam, IBC 2019. I've got a few of those around. Those were just super glued to the set, to the walls in the vMix staffing room, and they'd asked me to come be on staff for that one. So I said, what are you going to do with these? Oh, we're just going to throw them away. I'll bring them back to the States, put them in my suitcase. They didn't take any room at all. So that's my set. I mean, it's just like, this is real life. And so what I wanted to do, I thought would be a lot of fun. Let's see, are they right here in front of me? So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I think either 11 or 12. I went out on YouTube and found 12 other people that are doing a natural, well, maybe not a natural background, but they're not doing a Chromakey background. They're doing some sort of real set. And I thought, okay, these are people that are on YouTube and they're doing real sets. And these are people that I watch on a regular basis. So it's people that you would know, like Paul Richards at PTC Optics. And then it's going to be other people, well, and like Tim and Heath at vMix. Both of those companies are using kind of real sets. And then I watch a lot of political videos. I watch a lot of sports videos. I watch a lot of tech videos. And so I thought, well, let's see what those genres are doing. And I brought them all in. And as I was getting ready to start the pre-show, I realized all these are guys. My apologies, ladies. So if you're expecting, I just apologize. Let's just put it there. So I'm going to show these to you, and then we'll go back through the list after you've seen them all, and I'll tell you how many YouTube subscribers they have. And that's kind of it's not precise, but it is a measurement of success. And so let's see how these people, how successful they are. And let me just, and these are in no particular order. Well, they are in a particular order. They're in the order that I discovered them online and took a picture. And these are clips. These are not clips. Sorry, these are just stills. So here is Paul Richards, and let's get that out of the way there. And Paul is doing a promo about the auto tracking in the PTZ Optics Move SE and Move 4K cameras, and that's his set. It's kind of got some neon in the background or some LEDs, and then a poster. And you can see, over his left shoulder, well, his right, our left, you can see there's a sound panel and some other things. And it's a working studio, and so there are lots of different things in there, and it's not intended to be kind of this drop that I have that just is a freeze frame behind me. His cameras are moving around and panning throughout the studio. So that's Paul Richards at PTZ Optics. And now we're going to go to one of my favorite sports broadcasts. This is from folks in Tallahassee, Florida, the warchant.com, Florida State University Seminoles. This is a football kind of a commentator analyst, and this is the Jeff Cameron show. And he also does radio. And I think this is a home studio, so you can see he's got a bunch of carpet on the wall and a poster from the city and some other knickknacks on a table in the back, and then some PNG files kind of framing him out. And that's Jeff Cameron. And then the next one is a show called, I think it's called Double Fries. And again, this is another sports commentary show, and you can see the background here is pretty simple. Two graphics that are backlit with LEDs, and the corner of a wall, and then of course a lower third, and then a scroll across the front. And then moving to the political spectrum, this is a guy named Matt Walsh, who is a commentator. And this is his, it's probably a studio. It could, I guess it could be his real office. But it's very carefully lit, very dimly in the background. And so, I think that's a carefully crafted shot, I think. And then that leads us to the gaming world, to the technology world. This is Gamers Nexus, and this appears to be a kitchen with a refrigerator and a stove and a sink and some paper towels and a coffee maker. Maybe that's the kitchen in their studio. Maybe that's maybe he's just working from home today. Don't know, but I thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to throw it in. Here is this is David Foster, formerly of Live Streaming Pros. I remember meeting David and Luria at NAB 2016 maybe, where they were working with live stream and had a big Airstream trailer out there. And David has got his own show. This is his set. You can see in the background there's interesting lighting and some novelties that we can't really kind of make out. And then this is interesting. This is a political show. Anthony Brian Logan, and his set is very carefully crafted with some wooden flag symbols and some books and other trinkets. People kind of telling you a little bit about themselves with the background. And then back to the tech world. This is Greg Salazar, and Greg, among other things, volunteers to fix people's PCs for them for free if they live in the Orlando, Florida area. And this is his show called Fix or Flop. It is in the fourth season. This is one that was just released last night. And what I thought was really interesting about this is you can see, of course, the acoustical panels on the wall. And I think he said before this was a sort of a temporary studio. He's living in an apartment while his house is being built. But you can see the acoustical panels on the wall, and then right above his head, pointed towards the camera, is a light. In fact, that's his hair light. You can see a little bit of the silver reflection on the tips of his hair follicles. So that's an interesting one. And then, from one that's fairly carefully crafted to this one. This is Doc Rich. This is a political commentator. It looks like a baby playpen in the background with a blue wall that had something taped to it at one time. And it's not taped to it anymore because it pulled some of the paint off with the tape. And then, of course, the curtains to the side. You just never know. You just never know what you're going to get. And then this is one of my favorites. This is high intensity health. And I followed this guy pretty closely during COVID because he did a lot of analysis and trying to unpack what people really meant when they said things about COVID. And I think he actually got in trouble with YouTube a couple of times, and so he had to sort of, use euphemisms instead of using the real world. The real word. But you can see, this appears to be, maybe his living room with leather couch and then some books on the back of it, and then a backdrop beyond that. Um, Lighting looks pretty intentionally done there. And then last but not least is, and this is the only duo I've got in the set, is the PTZ Optics guys, Heath on the left and Tim on the right, with a blue and red themed set. Heath being the blue, Tim being the red, and in between them on the wall, in a portrait position, is a fairly large TV that is scrolling through whatever their theme of the day is. In this case, I think it happened to be movies that were on their threequel. Not the first version, not the second version, but the third version. So this is their set, and you can see a light fixture over Tim's shoulder to the right. And one directly above Heath's head, which kind of gives him an interesting little crown look. Not intended, but it's just the way things happen when you kind of just put things together. So thought that was really interesting. Oh, you saw a little bit of a backdrop there. I didn't realize it would do that. So then you can compare those to mine and see mine is in totally not, well, 99% not intended. I did turn this light on. And I did put it, where is it? Right there. Yeah, I put a little light to help get a little shine on the poster there. But other than that, you get half a clock, you get a thermostat, you get a rack of nuts and bolts. So that's the new Chromakey. When Chromakey was new and everybody was trying it, and people had bad keys and they had shadows and they had all this kind of stuff, and now the cool kids are doing the real look. So I want to be one of the cool kids. Now, having said that about all those guys, I want to go back through and see if I want you to play with me. There's no winner to this game, so if you play the game, you win. But the game is, can you guess how many YouTube subscribers these folks have? And it's not fair to look it up. I mean, you don't have to look it up and cheat and win. Just guess. It's fun to guess. Don't, Eric Tabor, do not cheat. I'm just telling you. All right, so we go back to the beginning of the list, and I'm going to put Paul up there. And oh, I can't resist the. Can I do this? Yes, I can do this. 1 second, please. We are going to. What are we going to do? We're going to take our mix 88. So we're going to take a blank input. Bear with me. Blank input. Yep. And we're going to put in it mix 88 on the layer. Mix 88. We're using exactly 100, what do you call them? Inputs today. And we are going to take mix 88 and we are going to make it smaller. And we're going to put it here in the side. I just wanted to hang around and be present with you guys on this stuff. So let's go to Paul. And then let's just pop Tom back in there just for fun. Oh, can't do that because it takes there's no transparency to that, is there? Wow. Can't do that. I'll figure it out later. Okay. So Paul at PTZ Optics, let's guess. Oh, come on, Eric. Let's guess how many thousands or hundreds of subscribers PTZ Optics has? And I'll just give them to you in categories and let you guess. 0 to 50,000, 50,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to 500,000, 500,000 to 1 million, or more than 1 million. What do you think? 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 500, 500 to 1 mil, 1 mil plus. PTZ Optics. Write down your answer. No, I need to tell you right away. And Bill gets it right. 0 to 50. They have 34.3 thousand subscribers. That's pretty decent, especially for a narrow niche like live streaming gear, live streaming remotely operated cameras. They've done a good job of getting themselves. Yep, Eric got it too. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm not using as low latency today on the stream as I should. I probably should. Let's see. What did I put down? Oh yeah, I'm using ultra low latency. So okay. So you guys are just slow. It's not me, it's you. All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to and some of this stuff, obviously you're not going to have a clue on. So the Jeff Cameron Show on warchant.tv. How many subscribers does warchant.tv have? 0 to 50, 50 to 100. You know the rest. And go ahead and write down the name, warchant.tv, and we'll come back to that one in just a second. Go ahead and make your guesses. warchant.tv or warchant.com. Anyway, the Jeff Cameron Show. It's all wrapped up into one network, and they've got 4 or 5 different shows, all of which are attached to the same channel. Eric says 0 to 50. Yeah. Bill says 50 to 100. I think that's a good guess, Bill. But the reality is 42.6. So they're getting there. They've got their market and they're expanding it, but they have a lot of competition for seminal football and other sports commentary. There are other people that are doing the same thing, probably a dozen or more. In fact, this one right here, Double Fries, is in the same genre. Double Fries, and let's see, Double Fries on the list. Eric says 0 to 50. 0 to 50. Double Fries has got 13.2 thousand subscribers. And I think he's fairly new. And I don't think he's affiliated with anybody. There are a lot of these sports commentary guys that are affiliated with different networks, and the networks try to get a representative in every market. And he's got 13.2, but he's doing his own thing. 13.2 is Double Fries. All right, so let's go. Do we have any other sports guys? We kind of keep them together. No sports guys. All right, let's go to technology. So we're going to go to Gamers Nexus. Gamers Nexus is going to be 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 500, 500 to 1 million, or 1 million plus. And what they do is they evaluate hardware and software as it relates to gaming. So if you're in the gaming world, you've probably watched 100,000 of his videos. He also does, which is what kind of caught me, he also does forensic testing of gaming PCs. So he'll have some company build him a gaming PC, kind of incognito, and he'll bring it in and he'll tear it apart. And he'll say, all the stuff plus, all the stuff good, all the stuff not good. All right, so let's see. Gaming Nexus. It's more than 50,000. Keep guessing. Come on, don't give up. It's more than 100,000. Keep guessing. It's more than 1 million. So Dewey's right so far. It's more than 2 million. Gamers Nexus is 2.12 million. Now that 0.12 represents 120,000. He's got 2,120,000 20,000 subscribers. Now, obviously, not all of those are active. You know, some of them may not like him anymore and don't watch. I have 2 of those. Gamers Nexus, from the kitchen, 2.1 million subscribers from his kitchen. Did I say kitchen yet? Yeah, from his kitchen. From his kitchen. Oh my gosh. Let's see, other technology. Let's go to Greg Salazar. Greg Salazar. And Greg's been doing this for a couple of years. He's kind of on his own. And I'm not sure kind of where he comes from or what his background is or what, I mean, he'll tell you, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing this, which I can commiserate with that. Greg Salazar, 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 500, 500 to a million plus. If you'd said 100,000 to 500,000, you would be wrong. If you said 0 to 50, you would be wrong. If you said 50 to 100, you would be wrong. Isn't that amazing? The kid is doing really well. He's got 886,000 subscribers. 886. So he's gunning for 1 million. And, my guess would be that this could already be, if it's not, it will be soon, his full-time gig is just doing these shows and getting monetization on it. Now, he does run a quick ad at the beginning of the show. Not a big fan of his ad because it's basically, some sort of kludge Windows OS license key, which I think he deserves a better sponsor than that. I really do, because he's got a better show. All right, so that's tech, and then the one more tech space, of course, is our vMix guys friends. They are in the tech space. And what do you think? 0 to 50, 50 to 5 to 100, 100 to 500, 500 to 1 million, or 1 million plus? Yep, the vMix guys. The vMix guys. Bill Connor says 300 plus, 300 million plus. Oh boy, that would be great, wouldn't it? I think the vMix guys suffer from the same thing that the PTC Optics guys suffer from, is that in the technology world, live streaming is a narrow niche. And, and within that narrow niche are software streamers, which is an even narrower niche. And those guys, Dewey, you're right. vMix has 91.2 thousand viewers. Now, there's a big deal about reaching 100,000, because when you get 100,000, you get a plaque, or at least you used to. All right, Jan is saying, to be fair, Steve from GN will get 130 to 500,000 views on each of his videos. They have a merch store too, and this has helped finance Edition. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of these people are doing merch. In fact, some of them are doing too much merch. And what Bill says is what they all have in common is over the YouTube threshold for monetary. Yeah, they do. All right, let's finish up. Let's go into the political realm. And so we've got Matt Walsh. Now, Matt Walsh is affiliated with Ben Shapiro. And if you're familiar with that group, Ben Shapiro is a conservative commentator who it was a big deal when he moved his family and his company from California, moved the company to Nashville, Tennessee, and his family to Florida. Matt Walsh has, well, you guess, 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 500, 500 to 1 million, 1 million plus. Dewey says 500 to a million. I think that's a great guess. That's probably what I would have guessed if I didn't know. Or I would have said slightly over a million. What we found out is Bill guesses the same. Matt Walsh is actually our #1 YouTuber in this group. And he's not really a YouTuber. He's a commentator. He writes books. He does other things too. But he is at 2.79. That's 2,790,000 subscribers. That's the point at which you begin to make a little bit of a ripple in the pond. Yeah, and I'm sure that's what he's hoping for. David Foster, who is, from the live streaming community, but has sort of rebranded himself, reinvented himself as a political commentator now. David has 122,000. And I think a lot of those were from his gaming time when he was doing a lot of gaming streams. And those are people that, are still subscribers, whether they're active or not, is a different story. So he has a healthy subscriber base, but his videos are not getting a lot of view. He might put out a video and the next day it might have 500 views, and a couple of weeks later it might have a couple thousand, and every now and then he'll get one that shoots him way up. I mean, everybody can do that sooner or later. Let's look at Anthony Brian Logan. Anthony Brian Logan, political commentator, and he's one of those that will take an event that has some video associated with it and play the video and then comment on the video. That seems to be a kind of a common way of being a commentator, is to throw something up there and then comment on it. And in some ways, you're sort of dovetailing on the notoriety of whatever the video is that you're showing. And in fact, a lot of people have kind of somewhat, I think, deceptively will throw that video up there as their thumbnail, and then down there, in the bottom corner, which you don't really notice, is their picture, and they're going to comment on this video. So you're not really getting the video, you're getting this person's comment on the video, which I think, they ought to be a little bit more honest about that. I would. All right. So Anthony Brian Logan, 1 million viewers. I mean, a million subscribers. Surprised me, but he's very polished, very polished. Okay, let's see. This is not political. I'm going to save a political one for last, another political one for last. This is high intensity health, and this is health with just a smidgen of politics on the side, because he's sort of, talking about health officials responding to different kinds of health things, as well as talking about, why cauliflower will help your hair be shiny, or whatever it may be, is the fruit promo of the month, or the veggie promo of the month. Let's see, let's find him on here. 668,000. 668,000. So, more than halfway to a million. And I would imagine, talking about health like this, I would bet that his followers, subscribers, are probably pretty active, because people that are concerned about health are pretty active. I'm a subscriber. I don't watch every video, but I'll kind of cull through and catch the one that catches my eye, and at least preview some of it, maybe not watch the whole thing. The last one I've saved is Doc Rich. Now, Doc is a political commentator on the conservative side, and he will throw up some, short clips or even a long clip and then comment on it. And his set, I mean, the whole reason we did this was to talk about the, the non-Chroma-key sets. And his set is probably the worst of all of them. Even worse than mine. At least my wall is all the same color. I don't have a child's playpen in there. But he is the example, I think, of why content conquers all. And he has, let's see, Doc Rich, 1.35 million. So 1,350,000 subscribers. And I think he's growing like super rapidly. And for folks that are in the political world, as we just passed November, so we're now less than a year to the U.S. presidential election. All that stuff is going to get heated, and some controversies will swirl. And whenever that happens, views on YouTube shoot through the roof on whatever the subject is, or whoever happens to be the expert in that category. And somebody like Doc Rich has got enough of a base that he could catapult himself really into, multiple millions of subscribers. And he's got a, great personality. He appeals very well. He's talking to his friends. I mean, not like he's talking to just his friends, but he's talking as if you were his friend, and talking about whatever it is. So 1.35 for Doc. So the winner in our totally arbitrary contest is Matt Walsh with 2.79 million, seconded by Gamers Nexus with 2.12 million. So we've got two of them over 2 million. And then Doc Rich with 1.35, and Anthony Brian Logan with 1 million. And then everybody else is less than that. In fact, significantly less. The only people, the only people between 500,000 and 1 million are Greg Salazar with the Tech Show and High Intensity Health with the Health Show. And then between 100,000 and 500,000, we have just David Foster. And I think most of those are ones from his previous life. Everybody else, vMix, PTZ Optics, War Chant, Double Fries, are less than 100,000, with vMix being really, really close, 91,000. Yeah, 91,200. That's right. So if you haven't subscribed to the vMix website, the vMix YouTube page, go ahead and do it, and recommend this to all your friends. So there you go. So the question that I don't know that I really asked this question at the beginning, but the question that I've come to at the very end is, does the background affect your viewership, or your subscribership? I didn't look at viewers necessarily, but does the background reflect or in any way determine what your subscribership will be? And the answer is yes and no. Matt Walsh, let's bring him up again. Lovely set, gentle tones, 2.79 million. Gamers Nexus from his kitchen. Really? Kitchen. 2.12 million. And Doc Rich from the baby's room. 1.35 million. That's incredible. That is just incredible. Just incredible. So there we go. We'll go to pre-show in just a second, but I just thought we'd try this set back here and see if our subscriber count just jumps through the roof. We go from 5 to 6 subscribers. No, I think we're actually getting close to 8,000. Yeah. All right, post-show. Stick around. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't that something? That's interesting. Sometimes I come up with a good idea here and there. A lot of you mentioned different YouTubers in chat, and we'll go through and try to get you. But this is the comment that just jumped out. Of course, you know, Bill is such Bill. I don't know what Bill does. Bill does something with engines, teaches people about engines. And if you're an engine guy, if you're a mechanic, if you work in that technology field, you know you have to be extremely precise, and you have to be able to analyze, and you have to be able to diagnose. And Bill has analyzed and diagnosed, and he says content matters, just like great audio. That's right. And in this case, at least we get great audio. All right. Kevin Samuels, 1.75 million. Excellent background. Have I seen the Shay Club with Shannon Sharp? Seems to be a theme going through that. Should I mention it? No, I haven't. I haven't. Shannon was in that cabal with Stephen A. and whatever that annoying white guy was, and some other guy, and then they split up and changed partners and whatever else, and that was just it was too much grown-up adult male drama for me. It just was way too much. Way too much. Bill says that these people are making money. And I just realized that Jan was talking about Steve from Gamers Nexus. And yeah, I think they're pretty well established, and I think they're legit, and I think they have a great following and are very active and are doing some cutting edge things that keep people engaged. Um, yeah, I think that's always good and interesting. All right. Well, let's see, where are we here? There we are. Did I check Epiphan in Canada? No, I don't know Epiphan in Canada, but let's check real quickly just for fun. We'll just do a little Google search here. Bear with me. Epiphan. Epiphan in Canada. Epiphan video. There we go. All right. So let's see what they are on YouTube. That's what we really wanted to do, didn't we? Here we go. Epiphan Canada. Okay, Epiphan video. There we go. Epiphan video, world-class video. They do videos. Let's see if we can find a video of their set. Oh, what the heck? We'll just do a screen capture. That way I don't have to do anything else, because you know how lazy I am. What display have we got there? Yeah, that's the one we want. Okay. So that is their YouTube. The latest YouTube was 11 hours ago, 44 views. And there he is. That's Dan with Epiphan. 11,000 subscribers. And they have a light. And then they also have on the wall behind him a light switch, maybe. And then they've got a steel shelf. I have those steel shelves. Those are great. And he's using the TV monitor, the PC monitor, to display his logo. And then he has a big white R2D2 on his desk. Oh, no, that's a microphone. Okay, gotcha. Well, there you go. Yeah, there's a set. There's a set. There we go, 11,000. Good for him. He's on his way. Let's see how long he's been doing this. We'll go to his website, go to the, do they not tell you that anymore? No. Well, it used to be that they had an about section. Huh. Let's see if we can go to somebody else and see if they have the. No, they don't have the abouts anymore. Look at that. Well, let's look. We'll bring you back here in just a second. So there's our favorite one with 7.24 thousand and 741 videos. And yeah, look at this. There is, they used to have a section where they would tell you what you wrote. Is that gone? It's gone. Look at that. It's gone. Gone, 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 gone. Oh, well. I guess that's it right here. Well, there it is. Okay. 7.24 subscribers, 741 videos, 1.34 million views. I was 1.3 of those. Joined in June of 2012. Huh. Interesting. One second here, guys. Just wanted to go back to Epiphan for just a second and see. They were from 2010 and they've got 2.2 million views, but only 11,000 subscribers. I think that's interesting. Yeah, good for them. Good for them. So there we go. Well, Dewey, I think David is searching. I really do. I think he's on a journey and he's searching. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever met him personally. I knew of him when he was in Tallahassee, Florida, and he was the president of a tech company, or was it an advertising company? Don't remember which. Yeah, I used to follow Linus Jan, and then I just got a feel. He just creeped me out, and just something was just not right. So, yep, I decided to get my technology tips elsewhere. Yep. So, Rich, goodness, excuse me, I never remember which is my sneeze button. Rich would like a synopsis of the show. And George would too. Yes, AJ, the CEO. It's been interesting to see him rise. I saw some. He kind of caught my eye early with some of the things he was doing. Well, Rich, you can go back and watch it at the beginning, from the very beginning. Take notes and ask questions. In fact, I'll send you a test that you can fill out and return on on the content of the show. No, just notice the background. Notice that the very carefully crafted background behind me that is obviously a green screen. You can tell it's a green screen because nobody would ever have a background that looks like this in real life. But actually, some of the folks that I used as examples today did kind of have arbitrary backgrounds. That was kind of interesting. And just because I showed one today and it didn't look good, or it did look good, that doesn't mean that's the one they use all the time. It just is the one that I found in my 90-second search for 12 backgrounds. Yeah. All righty. Well, boys and girls, always has to be one. Actually, it's possible. Not a spider. No, spiders die from lack of food here. We have lots of dead spiders. Yeah. John, Jan, it's because nobody cares about enterprise stuff. Not just teasing, just teasing, just teasing. All right, guys, I'm gonna pop out, but loved hanging out with you today, and look forward to hanging out again with you next week. And if you're celebrating Hanukkah, I wish you a blessed Hanukkah. If you're celebrating Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas. If you're not celebrating either one, then you're on a search. Yeah. So take care, and until next week, thanks for watching.